Greetings and welcome, my friends. This is Shutter Island, the Orzhov deck that is going to make the opponent crazy. We have hand disruption early and often, then whatever they do play out will get nuked with Sunfall or Deadly Cover-Up. We have the Bat God and the Eternal Wanderer as our win conditions, and we have a way to get them back from the grave if they get ghosted too early. Plus, the invasion is a win condition on its own once we flip it. Make them pay and make them fit for Shutter Island. We've got the full set of Duress, the card that will snipe any non-creature card that might be too powerful for us to deal with. Ripping a planeswalker out of their hand always feels great. Hopeless Nightmare is more hand disruption. This time they toss a card of their choice. It'll do them 2 points of damage as well. And once we have the time and opportunity, we can pay 3 mana and sacrifice it to scry 2, a very valuable ability. Sheoldred's Edict is spot removal. We'll be able to use it effectively after a board wipe when the opponent might only have a single man in play. It's great at taking out any enemy planeswalkers as well. Skullcap Snail is more hand disruption. It comes with a 1/1 body that can block incoming damages. The exile means they lose a card and will never get it back. Phyrexian Arena is hand acceleration that gets us an extra card draw every upkeep. It will cost us a life for every extra card we get, but we do have a few ways of gaining life. Sunfall is one of the most powerful sweepers in MTG. It'll exile all men on board and give us an incubator token. Enemy men will be our biggest threat, and this is a way to make sure we clear the board and even use their numbers against the opponent. The Bat God is one of our game winners. He's a big 4/4 flyer that has lifelink and will also force a discard when he swings in. And if they do have removal, the big bad bat can easily come back. Deadly Cover-Up is our other sweeper. This one destroys all men, and we can collect evidence and exile a particular card of our choice from the opponent's deck, hand and grave. With this sweeper, we don't mind taking out our own Bat God since we can recover him rather easily. Invasion of Tolvada is a great way to get our planeswalker or one of our other permanents back from the grave. And once we flip it, it'll generate a 1/1 flyer at the end our turns, and it'll give our tokens plus 1 power and lifelink. The Eternal Wanderer is another sweeper attached to a planeswalker. It's great at dealing with enemy men and can generate threatening tokens. Protecting the Wanderer is easy as only one of the enemy's men can attack her. For lands, we're playing the full set of Restless Fortress, the Orzhov Manland. When it attacks, it drains the opponent for 2. Forlorn Flats, the Orzhov Desert that hits the opponent for 1 when it enters play. 4 Caves of Koilos, the Orzhov Painland. 7 Swamps, and 6 Plains. Playing the deck is pretty easy. Our early plays are all about hand disruption. Take out their more powerful cards with Duress and snipe enemy men when you can. It's all about staying alive until we can wreck their team with one of our sweepers. After that, it's just a matter of landing one of our win conditions and taking over the game from there. Easy peasy, extra cheesy. That's the deck, boys. Let's go play some games.
Do you want to play a game?
This is Albert Give a Zamboni. No, wait, it's a name I can't possibly pronounce. Well played, bro. We get a 3-lander with all tap lands. That's okay, we don't need to play out our cards on schedule. Shout out to the shuffler, as we like to say around here. Keep your pants on. A GT means we can expect plenty of men as follow-up plays, and if I'm wrong, my underwear will be on eBay. Let's check out what they have. Another good thing about Duress is we get to see what they're up to. Yup, they got follow-up plays. Good thing we got an Edict to snipe their bill. They slap Bill down. We saw that coming. A second Edict means we can hold them off for another turn when they drop their follow-up to Bill. It's all about holding off their men and reducing their options. They're going for a noble steed, but before it lands, we have to hit them with Edict. There's no way we can take a hit that we can prevent. And taking out Bill is a rather solid move on our part. We'll hit them with Edict right away and play out our nightmare. It will be their nightmare now. The snail will slime away their last card, and it'll block their guy. We just need to hold out for that 5th land. Our snail sniped in a Johnny. It's the kind of thing we dream of. We draw another deadly cover-up, but at least this time we can use the Nightmare's Scry ability when we sacrifice it. They untapped a land with their equipment. It looks like they'll be activating their Highness and using his ability to pump and make a token. They could have done that before attacking, but they were likely afraid we had another removal. All right, let's uncork this thing. We need a 5th land, and there's one right on top. No need to do anything. We'll take our cards in that order. That's a beefy burrito they dropped. We'd be worried, but we have a pair of deadly cover-ups ready for this. We were born ready. Get sharked, mate. Get sharked. We'll collect a little evidence. We've seen how guilty they are, and now we'll scour Bill from this game forevermore. A duelist and their equipment is the easiest 2-card combo. That too is something we have to eliminate. They are so guilty, we can easily collect more evidence. We'll take out the duelist. It's way too good with GT. Albert is like, "What are you doing to my deck, bro?" He's got great top decking skills. Another brawler gets set to hold the ground. Let's send in our token. It's unlikely they'll block. Afterwards, we can play out the Dark Knight and make them stain their undies. The Dark Knight draws us into an arena. We'll play it out and get our hand acceleration into high gear. Once we draw another land, we'll be able to play out the Wanderer and wreck their board. The Nightmare will be our play. We'll snipe their card in hand, and we can sacrifice it for the scry. With their card in hand gone, we'll get another draw thanks to the Dark Knight. Unless they gain life or get a huge flying blocker, we'll have them on our next turn. There's no way they can hit us for 18 before that, right? Well, that's 16. We're still fine, and we still have a blocker to take a bit of the edge off. Block up their highness. Don't let him through. We'll never know how close we were to land number 6. GG's. This is Moray Eel? No, wait, it's just Moray. He's got the eyes of an eel. We kick this game off with a 4-lander. Our only early play is a hopeless nightmare. We'll need some good draws early, plus a 5th land for the deadly cover-up. Keep. Moray Eel took a mull. That's too bad, for him. That's our 5th land showing up right on schedule. I mean, 5 lands to 3 actual cards sounds about right. We picked off a tiny bones. He threw himself in his grave, LMAO. It's time for our snail to pick off another one of their cards. They'll be down to 2 in hand. Let's see what the snail picked off. It's just a land. After the 5th land we drew, our top decks have been solid. That's just what we need, a bit of hand acceleration. Their guy is getting huge. Who ordered steroids? Judge? Is that legal? Steroids? We'll scrap the nightmare for the scry. Show me something good. Really, Shuffler. 2 lands. Good thing we had the chance to do something about that. Let's ship them both. All hands on deck. There's land everywhere. We get an edict. That'll be perfect to stop their one guy from wrecking our plans for world domination. We will be vulnerable to them drawing another big guy and giving it haste, but I like using the edict instead of a board wipe in this situation. Moray Eel is a land-drawing fool. Keep them lands coming, Shuffler. We draw into a dark night at the perfect time. We'll get some life back and some more cards. Without any cards in hand, we'll go ahead and activate our manland and get in for damages. We need all the life gain we can get. They get a bill and pump him full of roids. He's a raging monster when he comes in looking to hurt us. Remember, kids, say no to drugs. We'll hit them, then slap a deadly cover-up down. Our deck does what we designed it to do. This is going to hurt them more than us. They don't have anything to exile, but we'll play out the snail anyways. It'll make a fine blocker if they cough up something with legs. We'll fire up the bat signal. And just like that, we have our Dark Knight on the scene. We'll activate the bat card and get in a hit. You never know how much life we'll really need to have. They get a Dread Knight and don't even bother trying to draw. They pump him full of roids. I'm pretty sure nature never intended for things to be that swole. Our snail will take the hit, at least one of it. Get in there, snail. Had we not gained that 2 life last turn, we'd have been crushed under the weight of a freakish roid monster. I know, we could have killed them off right here, but I wanted to get a peek at their deck. For science. I don't know why they only have 2 of those, but there you have it. Interesting deck, but there's a lot that's rotating out. partners, cool. But they should have partnered with Trample. Well, we haven't seen anything new. Let's close this out. I'm pretty sure we could copy their deck with what we've seen. GG's, bro. Very good game indeed. This is the famous Wang Chung. No, wait. Well, I really have no idea. We get a 3-lander with only some of the fixings. We've got a pair of nightmares that are going to hurt us to play out, but they are early hand disruption cards. Plus, we are only 2 lands away from laying the smackdown with Sunfall. They do what now? You tap your own stuff, bro? What on earth? Did they keep a 1-lander? They are such huge fans of Mission Impossible, they came running out here without pants. Maybe they're Reanimator and we just helped them out? I'm kinda nervous about the men in their grave. Let's see what we can see with our scry. I'd like another nightmare, but there's not enough black mana on our side of the table. Let's pass on that one. Before we draw, let's scry it up. These would be excellent cards if we didn't already have one of each in hand. Mana or bust. Let's ship these. We finally get a 5th land, and of course it enters tapped. I suppose late is better than never. We can finally make a play that doesn't cost us life, and saves us life as well. The Dark Knight will be our play. He can be a pretty big pain, and we can get some life back that we lost in just making plays earlier in the game. Their hope is fading, but it will buy them another turn free of our Dark Knight. He'll be back. Let's smash and snipe something out of their deck for good. The Atraxa looks like the perfect candidate for the position. Get gone, girl. You and all your friends. They are packing a lot of heavy hitters. They cheat them into play, or at least they try to. Let's rumble in with our token. Some hits are better than no hits. The Dark Knight returns. He doesn't wear hockey pants. I was traumatized by the fading hope earlier. I didn't want to risk them having another, so we won't activate the manland. If they fire off bounce, we'll be able to replay the Dark Knight. Ray do not have it, and we stick them at 2. And that's game. GG's. And that, my friends, is another satisfied customer.